I have to say this, and it seems like nobody else wants to. How are some people claiming that they hear from God, but don't know that the Scottish, Swedish, Russian, German, French, Turkish, Brits, etc., running around Northeast Africa pretending to be the people aren't the people? And how are people who claim to believe in God or be working for him in general able to talk against Palestinians when Palestinians, for one, they're not Arabs. Arabs are Ishmael. Palestinians have pure Canaanite DNA. They were the people who were in the land before the real, I don't even know if I could say all this on here, but I'm just going to say, I don't know, the real H, because I don't know what all I even can say on here anymore. Before the real H's conquered the land. Not to mention the real land was way bigger than that, but that's the whole side thing. Like, I guess I'll start off with what just happened. So there's this prophet, and I'm not saying that he's false. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the exposed ministry person who thinks that exposing people even is a ministry. I'm not going to say names anyway because that's not what this channel is. I mean, I wasn't even really considering this channel a Bible channel that much originally, but where was I? Oh yeah, so this prophet has said things plenty of times that have shown that he believes that God has told him that the Europeans running around Africa really are the people, and just other stuff revolving around that. So in this live, he was talking about how he's always talking about this, how God says that we need to pray for those people, which, I mean, of course we need to pray for everybody, especially the kids who are being sex trafficked by these people all over the world. And of course, they're kind of over the Cash for Kids system anyway, which I have other videos where I talk about that. Although the parts of the Cash for Kids system I usually talk about are lower level, not like higher level sex trafficking, although CPS commonly bleeds into that. But kind of side thing. So we definitely need to pray for people everywhere. We really should pray for their kids with the stuff that they do to their own kids. But he was saying that God was telling him that there's an angel that the angel Michael is over those people, and how God was going to be with them on their behalf to help them win the war or something. And he was saying we needed to pray against, I can't remember, either Iraq or Iran, because they were going to send a bomb in 24 hours to try to destroy them, and how God wants us to pray against that so it won't happen. And for one, this war is about to turn into a global thing. This isn't about to just cease to exist because supposedly God is on behalf of a whole bunch of Europeans who have been running around Africa killing people and terrorizing and torturing their own kids and other people's kids in underground bunkers. This war is about to turn into something global. It's not about to stop because, what can I call them? I don't even want to say that word because I don't want this to get taken down. It probably still will, but because the fake chosen, because they're supposedly gonna win. Kind of had forgot what I was talking about. And it's like, how do people who claim to hear from God, how are they able to just sit on the internet and say stuff like this? No, before I go into that second thing, I just need to finish this live stream off. So I had left a comment and I was like, did I already say this part? I don't even remember because I've already tried to record this once and had to delete it because I messed up. I had said in the comments that you're saying that God told you to pray for these Scottish, Swedish, German, Russian, French, British, etc. Pray for them to win the war. And I was like, how come none of you people are ever praying for the kids that they're trafficking? Like, why does nobody really want to talk about all the different serious issues in general that need to be talked about? But that's kind of a whole nother topic, I guess. And, yeah, so then the prophet dude, I guess he read my comment and he was like, and then he started talking about black people, saying that they're the people. And first of all, I never said anything about black people. I never mentioned any type of color. I never said any of that stuff. And he was talking about some black people, something. I can't even really remember. Black people, something, 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 something. And by the way, by looking at him, you can tell he's Bantu Judah tribe or something. And that's the thing. A lot of people who claim to be like working for God or whatever, who obviously are also of the 12 tribes, they have strongholds in their own minds that keep them from being able to get delivered and learn the truth, because they feel some type of way about their own people or our people because of things that their family have done to them or because of things that they saw growing up in the hood. And so they halfway even like themselves or other quote-unquote black people and won't accept the truth about who's who and who's what because of things their family did to them that they think that they've forgiven them for, but obviously haven't, because you have a whole stronghold in your mind that has you uplifting a whole bunch of occultists who don't even believe in God anyway. Uplifting. Well, I don't even want to go into all of that because I don't even know how much I can say on YouTube. But, where was I? So yeah, I said that. In fact, I didn't even get to say the thing about the trafficking. He had blocked my comments after the first comment where I was talking about well, wait a minute, where I was talking about how they're Russians and Swedish and all of that. But what's also crazy to me is how these people can say pray for everybody, but then talk against Palestinians. And yeah, it's just really weird to me. And then he was talking about it's a lot of Muslims, so we need to pray for the Palestinians. Part of the reason that the Palestinians have some of the stuff happening to them that is on both ends by the Euros running around Africa and even the real Arabs, the Ishmael people, is because a lot of them actually believe in Jesus Christ. And you're talking about some of the Palestinians are Muslims. I mean, some of them are, but that's only because of that's kind of a side topic, but a lot of mixing and confusion about who's who that's been pushed on everybody. But still, it's just really crazy that he would even say something like that, like the Euros running around Northeast Africa that these people who claim to hear from God uplift. I've seen videos of them spitting on Palestinians because of the fact that they actually believe in Jesus Christ. So how in the world? There's this, I've seen the deliverance minister who has actually admitted that he already knows that, some of us are the people and that even he's in the Judah tribe. But there's also been times where he's went on rants and was like, when did God ever say that the Palestinians were going to have their own land or their own country? Well, I mean, it just was a weird comment. It also didn't even have anything to do with the video either. He had kind of just went off into that on a side rant because it had nothing to do with the video that he was making. This is a different person, by the way, not the first person who banned me commenting. And then went on a rant about how black people think that they're the people and how God said that was foolishness, even though I never said jack about black people or any color. But yeah, so this deliverance minister was like, Palestinians were never told that they were going to have their own land and blah, 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 blah. And of course, my comments always get deleted off YouTube. Always. That's been an issue since 2016 for me. That's been an issue since even before then. How old was I then? That's just been an issue for me forever. That's the point with that. But I did leave a comment and I was like, how in the world are you going to say something like that and act like the Palestinians just deserve to die or something? Because the thing is, you've already admitted that you know who the real people are. So why do you sometimes still uplift these Europeans running around Africa and these even Babylonians and stuff? But I mean, that's also kind of a side thing. But overall, Brits really run around Africa. And also Scottish people. How are you... I mean, why? Why? It just doesn't make sense. It's like, how do you say something one day and then say another thing the next day? And you already know a lot about these people because of even things that like demons have revealed to you about these people and what they do while doing deliverances. So it just doesn't make sense to me why some people who say they believe one thing or like doing another sometimes, or they're acting like they're hearing from a lot of different beings. And another thing is, I mean, sure, like Palestinians were never promised a land, but I mean, they did obviously move. Well, actually, that's kind of bullcrap because the real H's, they didn't even kick all the Canaanites out anyway. And of course, Canaanites, the ones that were left that didn't stay with the real H's, would just move to like surrounding lands. But how are you going to make a comment like that when it comes to a whole bunch of people with the help of the U.S. and really just the European colonizers, all the European colonizers, because that's who these people were. These are the same Brits who were running to America and killing the Native Americans and the Black American Aboriginals. But how can you say that when you know these people who are running around claiming to be the people are just thrown there in the middle of the place and don't even look like any of the surrounding people really? I mean, maybe they look like some of the Arabs, the Ishmael, but not really. And I mean, it's not like these people really like those people. I mean, these are the real white supremacists at the top who barely even like other quote-unquote white people. So I just don't know what to say about this, but it's just really weird to me. Like, what is this, seducing spirits or something? I know some people may feel like this isn't that serious, but I feel like to claim that you're hearing from God, but then to say things that anybody who knows the truth knows God wouldn't say, it's just like, who are these people hearing sometimes? Are they hearing from God sometimes, but then not other times? Or are they just saying what they want to say? Because it could be that too. They could just be saying whatever they want to say. And of course, these are people who commonly have strongholds in their own minds because of unresolved issues within themselves that they have with our own people because of things their families did to them or things that happened to them in the hood. I mean, I've even seen like another deliverance minister who would most likely be a part of a couple different tribes because he's quote unquote mixed. But I don't want to go into too much detail with that because I don't want to like say anything too revealing, I guess. But I remember one time he was on a live stream and somebody had asked him if he believed that the people who were the real H's were. And he was like, no, I don't believe BHI doctrine. Why does everybody always have to jump to BHI? Somebody who's not deep into religion and churchianity definitely isn't going to jump in BHI, where some of them believe in polygamy and that you can't even wear pants. Like, really, somebody who won't put up with churchianity and the falsehood and false doctrine in there is not going to put up with BHI. And it's like, for somebody to jump into the idea that everybody who knows their ethnicity is BHI is really messed up to me. Well, for one, me personally, I didn't think much of it when I was younger, but I was always told about the whole chosen people thing. I wasn't told anything really deep into the tribes and who's who, but I was always told this. But I never really thought much of it. But I remember I would tell people about this when I was younger. I didn't even realize how many people were sitting up in churchianity and didn't actually know or at least believe that the people who were the people until the whole Kanye thing had broke out and quote unquote black people and quote unquote white people were in outrage because of it. I didn't actually know that many people really were in falsehood about who was who. And it's sure, sometimes because of things that our people did, I would feel I wouldn't really want to believe it, but I mean, I knew it was true. It's just that sometimes some of our people, they just did things. But like I already said, I know for a fact that some of these ministers or whatever they call themselves definitely are stuck in that type of stronghold where because of things that their family did or that they witnessed growing up in the hood, they have a hatred or some type of anger towards our own people. And they obviously haven't really forgiven us or even maybe even themselves, even though they claim that they have, because of course these people are deliverance ministers. These are people who believe that to be forgiven, you have to forgive. But it's obvious that they have a stronghold in their own mind against their own people. And I mean, I even know this other deliverance minister who also doesn't believe that we're the people, but they'll commonly go on rants about no snitch culture in our not that that's not an issue, because of course I talk about issues in our community, but they'll go on rants about our community and all the issues we have, knowing that a lot of their followers are probably just, well, not even probably, just from the things that some of these people's followers have uplifted them after they've said it, that were pretty much racist things against our own people. I can definitely tell that some of their followers are just racist, quote-unquote, white people, maybe even plenty of Willie Lynch syndrome house ends, because I don't know if I can say that either, because I know at least sometimes in comment sections I've been banned for saying that, but yet the fake who's running around Northeast Africa, they have plenty of comments all over the internet where they say the N-word, but they never get banned. But yeah, so where was I? Dang, hold up, wait a minute. I think I remember what I was last saying. So back to this deliverance ministry, this other one, which I think is the third one, because I do want people to know I'm not talking about all the same people. These are a couple different people. So this one would go on rants about how we have no snitch culture and different things happen in their dysfunctional family system. Not the issue. I don't see anything wrong with people calling out the issues in our community. Although I do find it weird how some of these people will call out all the trauma with us commonly having dark family systems and how much trauma they went through and how much physical and emotional abuse they went through, but then will still say that they're okay with quote-unquote corporate punishment. How can you go on a 13-hour rant about all the trauma you experienced and all of the beatings you got and how you almost died? But anyway, yeah, this same person who goes on these types of little rants about all the issues with our people and how we need to be delivered from fear dogs, and not saying that that's not true, but it's like they definitely have some deep-seated issues with our people that also make them not want to accept that we are of the 12 tribes. And trying to think of what else to say. Another thing I noticed is that this specific person also says that they like forgave their abusers and all that and even like made up with them. But it kind of just sounds like cognitive dissonance to me. And also like an abuser getting nicer as they get older because they need somebody to help take care of them, or because they don't really have like the physical ability to really abuse anybody anymore. Or their victim got older so they feel like they can't really do anything anymore anyway. But my point of saying all that is that that person claims that they forgave their abusers, but it's like, it's really obvious that they have a lot of deep-seated issues with our people due to stuff that their family did. And of course, even other things they went through living in the hood and all that. And it's like, maybe they didn't really forgive people as much as they think they did, because they definitely have a stronghold that's keeping them from accepting this truth. And like I said, I didn't even realize how many people really thought that like the whole Bible was about a whole bunch of Scottish and Scandinavian people running around Africa, until people got in outrage after the whole Kanye thing, which of course Kanye, he's controlled opposition, just like people like Joe Rogan or any of these other, well, is he alt-right? But any of these other right side of left right mind hurting people who claim that they're quote unquote woke. I like how they changed the meaning of the word woke around too, especially when it comes to the left side of left right mind hurting. Oh my gosh, I'm messing this up, but yeah, so they're all controlled opposition and COINTELPRO. Even what's that thing that a lot of people in the alt-right are always talking about? What is that? QAnon? Q-tip? Something like that. So yeah, that would definitely be COINTELPRO. Then it's this weird looking dude who I definitely have seen people say that he sex trafficked them, but he claims to be against the elites, and of course tells people this half-truth bull crap that's alt-right. But I can't remember his name. It was like I don't know, maybe like, dang, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember, but there's this girl on YouTube who also makes similar content, and she looks just like him, and people have accused her of being his daughter as like an insult type joke. But honestly, I'd say she probably is, because she looks just like the dude. No, it's not Jeff. It's not Jeff Bezos. That's definitely somebody else. Who is? I don't know. I can't remember right now. But yeah, all those people are COINTELPRO. I don't even remember why I started talking about that part, but that's all I had to say with this. I really just have a lot of questions about who's really hearing from who.